Alright, what is going on everyone? It is Foul Play here, and today we're going to go ahead and play some Hammer Time. So I haven't played this deck in a little while. I looked at a few lists that had done well some year recently. And yeah, here we are. We've got basically a mono white hammer list here, so no fetch lands. We've got 4 Horizon lands. We've then got 10 planes, 1 castle, 1 Blink Moth, 4 Ink Moth. So the cool thing about Blink Moth Nexus is it can actually buff your Ink Moth Nexus, or it can just attack on its own. It has the option to do either. Those people that have played like Affinity back in the day, played against Affinity back in the day, would probably have like a semi-good idea about all of this. Alright, so we've got Lurrus as the companion, of course, as is customary with the Hammer Time decks. So as a result, we've also got 4 Mishra's Baubles. We've got 4 Memnites and Ornithopters as the cheap free creatures to get out. So the way this deck operates is it essentially puts Colossus Hammer on one of your cheap creatures, and then that gives it +10/+10, and you attack for a lot and deal a lot. So 2 ways to get Colossus Hammer onto your creature without paying 8 to equip. The first of which is Sigada's Aid, which will give any equipments you control flash, and when they enter the battlefield under your control, you may attach them to target creature you control. In addition to this, there's also Pure Steel Paladin, where if you have Metalcraft, which is 3 or more artifacts, you can then go ahead and equip an equipment for equip cost of 0 instead of its other equip cost. So that's pretty nice. So yeah, apart from that, I looked and the list seemed to be playing Paradise Mantle at the moment over Springleaf Drum, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do today. Got 1 of Shadow Spear here, 2 of Cranial Plating, 1 of Swift Boots, and the Stoneforge Mystics with the ETB and the active to get the stuff out for free and out at instant speed. Other than that, we've got Steel Shaper's Gift, which can just tutor for 1 mana. And going over and looking towards the sideboard. Let's go something like that. Alright, so we've got 2 Pithing Needle, we've got 2 Burrington Forge Tender, 4 Giver of Runes, 2 Path to Exile, 2 Disenchant, 2 Oriok Champion, and Lurrus taking up the last slot. Alright, so this should be good. Let's go ahead and jump into a league. So I think I had like sort of mixed results last time I picked up this deck and played it. So we'll see if we can improve today. Why is it not giving me the option to share the other screen? So if I just click on this, is it going to give me the capture window? It's not. It's going to be difficult. Okay. Okay, well, leagues come up now, so that's good. Alright, sweet. I'll just take this moment to go ahead and update my Stream Decker. Yeah, I'm not like sure how good this is at the moment, what with like all the prowess and everything that's running around. But you know what? That's what we're here today to find out. Hammer Time. Alright, so that's all set up. Alright, so here we are for match number 1. Matter Traders, not too much, man. What's up with you? How's your day been? I think you saw you in a prelim 1 to 2 days ago, but I didn't stream it. Yeah. Oh, did you actually verse me, or did you see me just my name listed? Yeah, I did play a prelim. I ended up going 2 and 2. I did actually post it to YouTube, so you can check me out there if you want. This hand's got like only 1 creature. The Sigada's Aid can kind of do stuff, but it's just lacking a little bit. I think we can mulligan and find something a little bit better. This looks better. We'll keep. What do I actually ditch here? Might be Inkmoth Nexus, so I can guarantee this Pure Steel Paladin. I didn't play you just saw my name posted? Yeah. I did play Bogles and I ended up going 2-2. My losses were to Elves and Heliod Company, both of which I would say are bad matchups. And my wins were against a Sultai Snow deck, and I don't actually remember the other deck I beat. But yeah, again, it's on the YouTube. I get pretty salty against the Heliod opponent, but then he was also being pretty douchey, so I mean, yeah. It's what it is, right? Alright, so we'll still shape his gifts. We'll go ahead, we'll get a Colossus Hammer to hand, I think. We don't know what we're versing. We could have like slow rolled it, but opponent's gonna know well and truly what we're on. Explanation mark YouTube. Yeah, apparently that link doesn't work. If you like go out of full screen and scroll down, there should be a YouTube link you can just click on. Hopefully. Put it with the expedition map. Alright, so we'll just Pure Steel Paladin here. We can't attack. Next turn we can attack for a lot, but not lethal. Looks like my opponent has some pretty natty Tron. Memnite's not a bad find, so play Memnite for 0. Go ahead and play the Colossus Hammer. Should get that up as well. Always yes, always yield. We'll get that card value happening. The difference that winning the die roll made here is very, very huge. How's it going, Gerber? Not too bad. We just started the league actually, and we are versing Tron here, but we're playing Hammer Time, mono white Hammer Time, and we've got a pretty aggressive hand. Not quite lethal, but we will be attacking for 17 here, putting them to 3. We do have Blinkmoth Nexus that we can attack with next turn as well. It's going to take something pretty spectacular for my opponent to get through this. Maybe like Walking Ballista, but even Walking Ballista can't ping the Ornithopter. Ornithopter doesn't have flying though, so I guess they could block with a Worm Coil Engine. Rip. Okay. Still, we deal more than 6, right? Let's go ahead. Sagada's Aid into oh wait, that doesn't fetch me anything. Okay. There I was assuming Sagada's Age would fetch me stuff. Let's just attack here, otherwise they... No, we can attack with everything, right? Because they're forced to block here. Even if they gain 6, them taking 16 will be negated. So, yeah, we can attack with everything. So, mostly we're going to be looking to... to dodge that Ugin, but it doesn't actually hit us that badly. It's just going on this Memnite over here now. And we might as well diversify, I feel. Opponent's on 4 still. Yes, we can just Cranial Plating on the Blinkmoth Nexus if we draw a land and or Pure Steel Paladin survives. And then we can attack for the kill. Opponent can attack for 3 lifelink here though and negate a lot. Alright, let's see what Khan goes after. Probably Colossus Hammer. Ah, he goes after the flying creature. Smart. Alright, casting this, we get a free card draw. Alright, so we'll equip that one there. Always yes, always yield. Not playing Bogles at the moment. Have you ever used Auriok Champion or Veil of Summer with Bogles? I've used Veil of Summer, but I haven't used Auriok Champion. Veil of Summer's like not too bad, but a lot of the times it's a little bit worse than Leyline of Sanctity is. Alright, so this is fine. We can equip this one here for 0. We can tap for mana, tap Stoneforge Mystic. We can then go get a Shadow Spear. And we can attack for lethal. So we did actually Yu-Gi-Oh off here, which is pretty nice. Alright, so casual attack for 19 trample. All at the opponent's face. Yeah, I haven't really tried Auriok Champion much. I think it can be fine, but a lot of the times against black decks, what you're worried about is Inquisition of Kozilek or Liliana of the Veil, and it doesn't really do that much for you against those cards. Casually trampling 13 to their virtual 7. So that'll be plenty. Awesome. Have you got any secret tech for Bogle's Gerber, or is Auriok and Veil about where it's at? I don't have any Tron hate here, which is unfortunate. I'm not like huge on Path to Exile here, but it would be good against Wormcoil Engine. At the same time, Giver of Runes would be nice, and I think Pithing Needle is probably necessary. Can destroy artifacts or enchantments. You was thinking Auriok would be good against Jund Shadow? Yeah, I think it would be good against Jund Shadow. If you double it up with Leyline of Sanctity, yeah, I think it could be pretty decent. The problem is, like, what are you taking out of your sideboard? Like, Auriok Champion's good against Jund and Burn, and that's, like, probably about it. Or Jund, Shadow, and Burn. Or Prowess. We'd have to bring in these disenchants and respect the Khan Great Creator plus Ensnaring Bridge. Hexproof Haste seems okay. Trample worked out there. Think we could probably minus on like Steel Shaper's Gift. We're on the draw. We can probably minus a land, and then like a Memnite, and that's probably enough trimming. What's your 75 looking like at the moment, Gerber? Alright, is that selected? My internet's freaking out at the moment, or online's like dropping frames or something. Alright, cool. Just really want to make sure that Lyris is like there. It's very important. Got call Firewalker right now, so at least it's better than that. Although it's not cheap, yeah. I mean, Magic's just an expensive game, right? This hand's like not close enough to going off. It doesn't have Steel Shape. Sorry, it doesn't have Sagada's Aid or Pure Steel Paladin, and we're on the draw. We want something fast. This is better. We have the Sagada's Aid turn 1. Think we can bottom a plains here, although we get punished if we draw. If we draw like Pure Steel Paladin, we could get punished. Yeah, well, Firewalker is like good against burn. It's not as good against prowess because like usually they're burn spells. Like the damage comes from the creatures, not the burn spells, in my opinion. So, like obviously the burn spells deal a little bit of damage, and you can mitigate that by 1, which is nice. Yeah, the creatures like attacking, like them attacking with 3/7 powered creatures. That's what wins them the game. Let's be real. Blink Moth not bad. Let's slam down that Sagada's Aid. It's a little bit vulnerable to like a chromatic like star or like a forest into a nature's claim. Here's the big question, Gerber. What is your game plan versus Heliod? I think I just accidentally skipped through my turn. I'm trying to cancel it. I am really trying to cancel it. I'm just hammering that 5 button. Nope, we just skipped through the turn. Okay, great. Cool. Oh, that's a blunder. It's probably going to cost us the game. We can still win the match, though. Alright. I'm getting, like, some serious lag here, so I need to be very conscious of that while I play. Mainboard is very similar to yours, to mine. Although you don't have Cartouche. You sideboard 3 Lion, 3 Rest in Peace, 2 Damping Sphere, and Mystic Auras. Okay, Mystic Auras. I think we probably want the hammer here. Our opponent's pretty hard representing Nature's Claim with like this double power plant hand. So I'm just going to play around that. Yeah, I don't know. I might be like going a bit over the top with the Cartouche in the main deck, honestly. But at the same time, Esper control is a big problem, and it's like relatively frequently played online. So I don't want to just like concede the matchup. It feels bad just having no tech for Esper. I can't like double hammer on the attack here, but I can single hammer. So attack on my opponent's turn. Attack here. I'll go for the hammer on the creature. We'll attach it to a Stoneforge Mystic. Should be decent. Always yes, always yield. And then second main we can like... I could have done that off colorless. I don't know why I tapped this way. That's really stupid. It's a very dumb way to tap. You haven't had the pleasure of playing Heliod. Your meta is dependent on your local game store. So you feel you can gear it towards specific decks? Okay, that's really good. If you can do that, absolutely go for that. Just like kill the meta. There's nothing wrong with making meta calls like that. I appreciate that. Also, like, if I play my Inkmoth a turn earlier, I could have had the kill there, or like threatened the kill there. Why don't I just get like a trash hand, really? Another hammer, okay. Let's get like a third hammer here. Sorry, a fourth hammer. We naturally drew so many hammers, it's crazy. Go to blocks, opponent just concedes. Obviously we had the other hammers in hand, so he would have needed another 2 Nature's Claim on top of the first one. Alright, cool. 3 wins. Go Heliod. I mean, go Hammer Time. Yeah. I hate Heliod. I hate it with a passion. The fact they can reliably turn 3 infinite life is just completely obnoxious, and I don't know why it hasn't been addressed. It's just, yeah, it's so ridiculous. It's so wrong in so many ways, and in my opinion, I mean, against somebody like heavy on interaction, that might not be it. Like, taking Jeskai control deck would probably absolutely school Heliod, but yeah, not us. Not the old uninteractive hexproof deck. I guess like even Burn has some sort of a game against it with all their lightning bolts, searing blazes. Lol, go Heliod. Think it would get a ban soon. I don't think like a direct ban. Like, I'd really like them to just ban the creature Heliod, and then the people that play that deck can just go back to playing Devoted Devastation, with Devoted Druid and Vizier of Remedies, and it's like a clunkier combo, which is a little bit fairer. The problem with Heliod is like Heliod plus Spike Feeder just equals infinite life, and they play the Heliod too, and you can't interact with it because it's an enchantment with Indestructible. And then they just turn 3 a Spike Feeder, and although you don't technically lose the game, you virtually lose the game. So, I mean, it's just not fun. It's not interactive. It's not like diverse gameplay. It's like, I say this as like a Bogles player, like their deck not being diverse, but yeah, like it needs a nerf of some description. Like, even if they were to just ban the green-white creature that causes extra counters, that would be a pretty significant nerf to the deck where less people would play it. It'd probably still be a bad matchup for Bogles, but at least it would be less frequent to verse. Although, like, what's the metagame looking at the moment? Like, I think it's like still a fairly diverse metagame. I think like Is It Prowess is the biggest bad guy in Modern at the moment, the biggest play rate. Alright, match number 2 versus Pedro Gush. Won the die roll on the play. Opponent on a Urian deck. Hell yeah, I'm keeping this. Alright, we'll cast out our Memnites. We'll cast our Sigarda's Aid. We've got the natural hammer, and we can go tutoring for a second hammer as well. This is pretty nuts 7 on the play. Man, why did people stop playing this deck? What's it lose to? Abundant Growth. Oh, opponent. This is going to be way too slow against us. So this could be like a snow list, or it could be like a Bant list. Let's conceal the hammer and search the second hammer first before we go to attacks and all that. Yeah, it could be like the Stoneblade, the Bant Stoneblade deck. Alright, so we're in for 12 on turn 2. Pretty good turn 2. Reminds me of the old Affinity days. Alright, let's go to our attacks. See what the response from the opponent is. Made this deck or a net deck? I tuned the sideboard, but other than that, it's a net deck, Gerber. I just looked at top 8 and MTG Goldfish and saw what was doing well at the moment, and the main deck is a direct copy from one of the lists, and the sideboard is slightly altered by like 3 or 4 cards. So my opponent's probably going to Ice Fang Quaddle here. In response to the cast, I'm going to cast the second hammer to try and get around Force of Negation. Assassin's Trophy. My Stream Decker is working right. I did upload the right deck. Alright, opponent concedes. Cool. Good work, team. Yeah. Alright, list is updated. That's good. Alright, so we're versing likely a bad snow deck here at the moment. We did see Assassin's Trophy. There could be an argument for Oriok Champion here. Could be an argument for Giver of Runes as well. Not sure how much we want Path to Exile against a deck that probably has Ice Fang Quaddle and like Teferis. If they have Stoneforge Mystic, us bringing in our Disenchants is reasonable. If not, it's like pretty suboptimal. A little bit suboptimal. I think we probably want to minus some Cranial Platings and Memnites. A Sagada's Aid. Then that takes us 1 card off. We're on the draw. We'll minus some Plains. I think I've played like 2 to 3 leagues with Hammer Time in the past. I remember playing 1 league with the mono white variant and another league with a black white variant, and then I haven't really played the deck much since, but decided to pick it up here. Right, what's this hand look like? We got Double Giver, Pure Steel Paladin. We can't yet cast the Pure Steel Paladin. Double Giver seems like it could be pretty strong here, though. As long as we don't verse Dead of Winter, which is like the Snow Toxic Deluge, I think we're in an okay spot. Alright, well this hand's looking pretty good. Now we're just missing white mana for the Pure Steel Paladin. Yes, I could play the Ornithopter there, but I see enough value in leaving it in hand that it's fine. Like, it's not a Memnite, it doesn't have power, it can't attack this turn. Renin 6. Ooh. Ooh. Scary. Glad I bought it out the Memnites over the Ornithopters, hey. Another Ink Moth, old triple Ink Moth. Alright, we'll commit into the anger of the gods here. Just what we gotta do. And then from next turn we can threaten a hammer with like Double Giver of Runes back up. Seems like an interesting deck. You appreciate the equipment and Smashing Face. It's a very strong deck. Geber, there was a time where this was tier 1. I think a little bit before the Euro decks got refined, Hammer Time was tier 1. Like, and not just tier 1, but the best deck in the format at the same time. Just the option to like smack face on turn 2. Normally you actually see your mishes bobble, and then you're actually like very, very strong at like grinding card advantage. Give this other one pro black. Run in 6, get their land back, sure. So the fact they're spending that on Giver of Runes instead of like one of our other creatures is pretty nice for us. We find Paradise Mantle. We can like Paradise Equip, then Pure Steel Paladin. And then we can shift it across. It's sort of slow. I think we're forced into doing it though. Alright, let's cast this Paradise Mantle. I think we're better off going for the Steel Shaper's Gift here, actually. Getting a hammer. Passing the turn. A little bit of a slow turn, but next turn's going to be the turn where we go off. So that's fine. Wait, did I not play a land? I did not play a land. Oh my god. I'm silly. That sucks. So we lose our Pure Steel Paladin. They're leaving the hammer in hand. We can naturally draw Cigadas. I really should just have Inkmoth active, like, and attacking essentially from here. And if I played my lands correctly, that Inkmoth didn't need to be... Alright, so this definitely looks like a Niv Mizzet Reborn deck we're versing, with Bring to Light and Supreme Verdict and whatever other bells and whistles. So he's just going to name Colossus Hammer here. He already knows it's in hand. And he's going to do what he needs to. Oh, do we actually draw a card off of that? That's interesting. I mean, it's a good find, but it doesn't accomplish much. Let's just attack for infect damage here, and we should be able to dodge Renin 6 doing its thing. Then we just have to try and get past the giant Niv Mizzet. Scary. So we could have done that same thing, but committed Pure Steel Paladin to the board and protected it from the Thoughtseize. We would have still lost our Colossus Hammer. Omnath, sure. So opponent can draw a lot of cards with this Omnath here. That's fine. Gain a lot of life, I mean. He draws a card and then he gains a lot of life from excellent forwards. Alright, hopefully I'm activating these in the right order to get around this summoning sickness stuff. Guess we could always get Pure Steel Paladin back with Aluris, but I should not be attacking with Giver Runes there. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. What a stupid play. Alright, we just throw away our Giver of Runes because I didn't realize. Awkward. Alright. What can we draw? Can we just draw the nuts and just steal the win even though we've played really bad? They've now got Fatal Push with Retrace. That's not good for us. Losing the Giver is really bad for us there. We do have triple Ink Moth Nexus though. I'm probably, like, in all fairness, not awake enough to be playing this deck properly. Now they're in 6. They got the emblem, they've played the other one, they're getting more land back. Yeah, sure. Whatever, do your thing. I care about the cards in hand more than I care about the Ren 6 that's on the board. Hidden behind Urian. This Fatal Push is going to be the big issue. Interesting. So play Steel Shaper's Gift. We can then get Swift Boots, which we can equip and give Hexproof, but then we can only equip from as a sorcery from like this turn forwards. If it fizzles one Fatal Push, it's probably worth it. But I'm just going to be like incentivized to hold stuff in hand at some point soon. I think we concede. We know enough about what our opponent's deck's up against. This is making for bad viewing. If I played perfectly, I think I win this one, but I played really poorly at 2 different spots, so... Niv Mizzet Reborn deck. Well, the fact that I've got that card makes me want to diversify on auras more. That blue-black card that exiles all copies from the deck. I think this is fine. It's a little bit slower, but should be fine. Do I remember where I got the deck list? Yeah, I'll get a link for you, Geber. Alright, so this hand is poo-poo. We mulligan. And this hand is good. We keep. This hand is like very good. On top 8, it's just called on type 8, it's just called Pure Steel Paladin, which is an odd name for a deck. We'll get this out before it gets like Thought Seized out of hand. Alright, this is the list that I essentially ended up copying at least the main deck of. There was like another list that did like very, very well. And it had like a Godless Shrine in there for some reason, and like the fetch base, so it was obviously like a black-white list that they converted to mono-white and then randomly 5-0'd. Kind of interesting. Alright, not a bad draw. So we can cast this Paradise Mantle for 0. We get a card draw. We're going to just yield always yes to those ones. No attacks this turn. Next turn we can get a good attack happening. Lightning Helix, you got it. Alright, so we can't quite play this cranial plating and get like a free equip and everything. So we'll just play out a Pure Steel Paladin pass. There's potential for us to wait a turn on cranial plating there. We can always like long game the Lurrus here. So next turn I'll probably just put Lurrus to hand. Utilize that angle. Unless I draw something particularly impressive. It's not bad. Okay. That just goes to hand. We pass. Our hand's sort of awkward at the moment because we're full of like 2 CMC cards or 2 mana value cards. Which makes things like precarious. If we hit exactly land next turn, we can be mana efficient and like lure us into Pure Steel Paladin. But then it needs to be exactly... Oh no, we can't do that. We got too many colorless land sources, so we'd have to set up with Stoneforge Mystic next turn. Valkyrie. Alright, well, we're going to be losing our Lurrus to this stupid Valkyrie. Opponent 3 cards left in hand. They do have Kai's Guile up, though. Assassin's Trophy on top of my opponent's library. Yikes, he's drawing the goods, isn't he? I think we probably just want Shadow Spear. We can take this opportunity to cast Shadow Spear. And then we can equip Paradise Mantle on the Stoneforge Mystic for if my opponent like doesn't want to kill it. It's probably worth the life there. Alright, so we played around like Kai's Guile semi-okay there. We know they're getting Assassin's Trophy though. That's going to be a hard one to beat. Draw the Ink Moth. Interesting. Opponent Yuri into hand. Doesn't give them that much here. More concerned about the other 2 cards that are in their hand, one of which is Assassin's Trophy. Alright, we're just mono Ink Moth people. Amana's sort of awkward here again. Instead of activating Inkmoth Nexus, I probably should have just played the Cranial Plating and passed. If they block here with the Spirit, we have to Blinkmoth active, and then they can Assassin's Trophy. Oh, actually, that ramps us, so that works out okay, actually. By ramps us, it doesn't technically ramp us, it just nets us on untapped land, which we can then use to play the Cranial Plating. So we can currently give like trample and a lot to our Inkmoth Nexus and kill over 2 turns. Ren in 6. We don't care about that one. That does get them land back though. Really sucks that we lost our Luris to that 1-of Valky in their list. They just play that card as a 1-of and that's it. What do they got? Urian. Okay, that's fine. He can like put Luris back to hand and then take it again and see that we have Inkmoth Nexus. Urian's like kind of fat though, but our opponent is tapped out. You're ever playing with Inkmoth Nexus, Mutavault, Manlands of any sort, always click on the one underneath, because the one on top is the one that entered this turn, and it will screw you over. So we can attack for 7 infect here. We lose an Inkmoth Nexus. They lose a Urian. They might just want to hold off until next turn, actually. No, they're cashing it in now. Interesting. In that same spot, we can activate the tapped Blinkmoth to buff our board and get the win. Buff our Cranial Plating. So hopefully our opponent just taps out here for something fat like an Omnath. He just gets to turn Valky into Luris. And what, get back Urian? Please tap out. Opponent refuses to tap out. Awkward. We might lose our 3rd Inkmoth Nexus here. Do we want to cycle beforehand? I think we just want to make them have it. I think we want a silent clearing though, even if we take in extra damage here. Sounds about right. I guess we tap that for mana. I don't think I'm going to utilize the mana this turn. We can just pass turn and then like end step, cycle Horizon Canopy. It's getting like increasingly tough. Okay, can we get a Sagada's aid here, people? Cool, I'll take it. If he's got a removal spell, hopefully... What a fat rip. It's not quite over yet. Hopefully it's Lightning Bolt if he's got a removal spell. Opponent choosing not to block at all. I think we just go for the hammer here in response and look to deal as much, gain as much life. If they Lightning Bolt in response, then whatever. Alright, we deal 12. Cool. So next turn we can't do quite that much, but we can equip a cranial plating instead. And still have a lot with trample. And for now, it looks like our opponent's run out of stuff to do. We might need to attack Ronin 6 to stop the emblem though. If they get their life too high here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we currently have 8 damage and they're going to go up to 13 at the least. Alright, abundant growth drawn for turn for the opponent. And we'll see if he draws anything else off of that. You can always use Urian from the graveyard and get another free card draw. He seems very reluctant to do that line for some reason though. Maybe I should have just dealt with Ronin 6 last turn. Alright, let's hit that Ronin 6 out of the game. Cool. Alright. Well, we are still technically winning the race. So if I did that a turn earlier, my opponent would have one less land off of Windswept Teeth. So that's something to note. Here comes Urian back from the grave. I'd really like a hammer off the top here. That'd be pretty good, eh? Bring to light. Getting Niv Mizzet. Getting whatever else they're getting. Puts Kaya's Guile and Bring to Light to hand. So we literally need to draw a creature so we can play around Kaya's Guile. And they still have Bring to Light to get a second Niv Mizzet out with. This has gone way too late for us. So, it's very impressive that this deck can go this late against something like Niv Mizzet Reborn and still have, a chance of winning. These are pretty gas draws, I'm not gonna lie. I shouldn't be activating the Blink Moth Nexus there, actually. That's wrong. I'm 1 mana short of doing what I want to, which is Cranial Plating plus Colossus Hammer. Sorry, Shadow Spear plus Colossus Hammer. Again, just throw away a Colossus Hammer, which doesn't seem very good. Alright, let's pass the turn. We can actually block the Niv Mizzet here with like Ornithopter, a fat Ornithopter. And then get him on Crackback, or we can get rid of like Lurrus. Getting rid of Lurrus is probably better because Niv Mizzet will bring back... Sorry, Lurrus will bring back Niv Mizzet. Abundant Growth, sure. Opponent 28 cards through their deck, and we're, what, 24? That's, like, not too much of a disparity. Oh, Ponza for the win. Thank you for the follow 31 minutes ago. I need to work out what's going on with my sound, because I'm not getting sound. When I'm not getting like sound notifications when people subscribe and stuff. I'm not sure what's going on. Hello, Mr. Auriok Champion. Don't mind if I do. That's a fantastic find. We can attack with Stoneforge Mystic and Threaten Colossus Hammer active, but that's not very good because we didn't equip Shadow Spear pre-combat, so I'm just gonna pass and play it safe. We have a really good kill next turn off of Auriok Champion, so that's what I'm gonna be going for. What's our opponent tapping mana for? Kaya's Guile with Entwine. Stoneforge Mystic is pretty pointless in this spot. Alright, really good draw on that Auriok. Opponent's still at 19 life, so we've got a bit of work to do. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 artifacts. We can technically hit for 19 exactly. No, 20. We can hit for 20. Essentially unblockable. Bring to light for 5. Sure. He can actually Supreme Verdict here. Does that give us Lurrus back because Valky's a copy of your Lurrus? Oh, he exiled our graveyard. That's annoying. The old Kaya's Guile for 4 modes. 4 modes, 7 mana. Crazy stuff. Omnath. So, undoubtedly, they're going to gain some life with Omnath. Off of a land. Omnath can also actually block the Auriok Champion. Best possible draw would be Pure Steel Paladin, so we can equip all our equipments for free. Equip here, equip here. Attack here, attacking for 18. Colossus Hammer. Red and black? Oh, you're right. It does actually. I forgot about that protection from red side. I was just thinking about the protection from black side. Right you are, Gerber. Good news. So we can put him to 4. I think we probably leave Sagada's Aid in hand here. There's not that many spots where it's good. I kind of want to hold up like mana for Kaya's Gale. We've got like 2 creatures we can sack to Kaya's Gales. Currently got 6 lands on the battlefield. Oh, actually, if we Paradise Mantle on the Ornithopter there, we're 1 land off of activating a second hammer onto the Auriok. Shouldn't matter too much. Yeah, Auriok Champion's looking pretty busted at the moment. My opponent could bring to light for Supreme Verdict, but that would also hurt them. Probably more than it hurts us, because then we can just attack with Inkmoth Nexus and get the win. Opponent's clock also down to 4 minutes 30. We're at 47 life. Guess if I had made them play a bit longer for game 2, we might have clocked them. Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. Oh, fun. That's why you'd be good against Jund Shadow, protection from Lightning Bolt, Assassin's Trophy, Abrupt Decay, Death Shadow, and Scourge of the Skyclaves. Yeah, all of those protections are good. We'll just let our opponent deal this damage. If the game goes on 1 extra turn after they spend like a deafening Clarion, that's fine. They can still team a Battle Rage over the top with a Death Shadow though. Even though the creature has protection from like black-red. Yeah, they can still go over the top. Alright, let's play that. Yeah, if we played it right, we would have been able to equip a second hammer here. We can't allow him retrace. So we have to kill Renin 6. It's super slow. Lightning Helix target my Ornithopter. Sure. Tarmogoyf is still an issue. Yeah, some of the lists also play Hex Drinker as well. Instead of the Monastery Swift Spear. Cast Renin 6 from the graveyard. Wait, do they have an emblem somewhere? No, they have Lurus. Okay, right. Gotcha. Sure. Again, we don't really care about opponent's damage. We care about our own damage. We're winning this life gain race. Alright, we'll attack our opponent. Problems with like going all in on a second Colossus Hammer if we draw the... Fuck. We still have protection from black. Problems with going all in on the second Colossus Hammer effect is if he has another Kyle's Gull, he gets us really hard from it. Is there any way to deal with Temur you feel like it always kills you? Well, you can put up blockers. You can, like, preempt a turn. So, if they've got, like, a Scourge of the Skyclave, which is obviously going to get big, you can preempt the fact that they're going to have a big Scourge of the Skyclaves. And, like, block earlier before Temur Battle Rage becomes an issue. You can hold, like, a Path to Exile up in response. You can counteract to kill the Death Shadow. That might be a bit harder, though. Alright, opponent's third Kaya's Gale has gone off now. We're just going to beat them on clock at this rate. I guess, like, Spellskite's also a really good way to beat Temur Battle Rage if you just redirect it to your Spellskite, but they probably have removal in the form of Push, Lightning Bolt, Assassin's Trophy. Opponent attacking for 16. Fuck, what is it with us drawing these Sagata's Aid here? Alright, let's go all in. If he's got the fourth Kaya's Guile or a Snapcaster Mage, I'll give it to him. I mean, he still has to kill us in like a 1 minute clock. Prismari Command. Destroy target artifact, draw 2, discard 2. I think we just go on blocks and try to beat him on blocks here, maybe. We've lost our life gain. Yeah, like the fact we get Lurrus back is also very strong if we block the Lurrus. They can attack with Niv Mizzet in the air. And these spirit tokens. Spellskite would at least take the focus off of Bogles, right? As in playing Spellskite in Bogles. I mean, what do you mean by take the focus off them? Fucking fourth Kaya's Guile we're dealing with here. Can I somehow activate this? No. Opponent's got 34 seconds to win this one. Alright, let's see if we can actually hit like something relevant like Pure Steel Paladin. That'd be really nice. Bugger off, man. Just put up as many chump blockers as possible. We should be able to clock our opponent here. Your opponent would have to use removal on your Spellskite instead of your auras. Yeah, we care less about the removal on the auras than what we do. Like just having our creatures sacrificed, right? Like having the creatures sacrificed is the big issue. So we're going to do a combat trick here and use our Blink Moth Nexus to pump out Ink Moth Nexus. Getting back our Lurus. Opponent's got 3 seconds left. We just win. Alright, we can now give, like, Hexproof in an instant. I guess we could always attack with the Lurus there. But opponent's just going to lose to their own clock here. Opponent loses. Go team. Oof. True, but no one uses Liliana at your local game store, so you should be safe from sacrifice. Does anyone play Black-White? If they play Black-White, you can get Kai's Guiled. The main sacrifice effects are Liliana of the Veil, Kai's Guile. I think there's like a Liliana's Triumph, which is an enchantment, which gets past Leyline of Sanctity for some bloody reason. If you're not worried about sacrifice effects, it's like... Think about it, like, you're spending 2 mana to maybe save an aura. Like, if you're saving a Daybreak Coronet, it's worth it, but if you're saving, like, a Spider Umbra, it's probably not. So match number 3, lost the die roll. Opponent on the play, they're keeping a 7. I feel like this is probably a keep, but it's also a little bit slow. Let's keep it. Oh, it's Heliod? Well, you know what deck doesn't care about infinite life gain? It's us, actually. Feels good being on Hammer Time. Get that Infect kill with our Inkmoth Nexus. Past their infinite life. Top of our opponent's library is... Spike Feeder. Fun times. And they play a Spike Feeder. Alright, always yield to that bad boy. We'll play an Inkmoth Nexus. We'll pass and hold up Path to Exile. True, you guess you hate losing to the same Jun Shadow player. Your only goal now is basically to beat him. Okay. Have you seen a lot of my matches where I versed Jun Shadow or not? Because we've got a lot of videos on that on YouTube. I'm sure you could just like do a search on Shadow and just like be pretty happy with everything. Alright, so like literally doesn't matter. We just get the infect kill here as long as we sequence this correctly, which isn't hard. So we just have to make sure we do this during our attack step because Colossus Hammer makes you lose flying. So in between like blockers and damage is when we're going to activate this thing. Or cast this hammer. I guess we'll just go to... No, because they've declared blockers and now they can't undeclare blockers. Okay, sure. Hey, it feels good being the guy that, like, being the bad guy in this matchup, doesn't it? Not bad. You think you watched one, but you're playing band and the opponent wasn't very good. I was playing bad. You try to look a little deeper, yeah. Like, literally, like, shadow matches are everywhere online. A lot of it can be whether or not you want to deal damage to your opponent in the early turns as well. That can be an important decision. So this is a matchup for basically Path and Pithing Needle. We don't really care about anything else there. Memnite probably seems pretty weak in face of Walking Ballista on like 1. And we'll just bring in, yeah, these 4 for those 4. Bant. Oh, Bant Bogles? Okay, right. Yeah, got you. Yeah, it's definitely winnable with like black-white as well. Sorry, with green-white as well. Got the hammer. We don't have a way to get it out, but I'd have to assume this is probably a keep at the same time. Opponent miles to 5. We've got this Path to Exile. Let's give our creature hexproof. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's bad. We already have the hammer. Like, our main dodge is Skyclave Apparition. Yeah, we don't care about Auriok Champion. Our opponent can't block flying, but they can Skyclave Apparition and then give us problems. I think probably getting cranial plating is smart here, considering we don't have a way to get Colossus Hammer going hard. With the Heliod, yep. Alright, so here I kind of want to Misha's Bobble myself. See what the top card of my own library is. Steel Shaper's Gift. Jesus, can we just hit a Pure Steel Paladin? So we can hold up Path to Exile plus Stoneforge Mystic active here, which all seems okay. Opponent with the Skyclave Apparition. We can actually interrupt this, which is nice. Oh, we can't put that on our creature. What am I doing? Alright, this is really dumb then. Sitting there thinking, like, in the back of my head that we have, free stuff active. Path away the Heliod. Oriok champion, gonna gain lifelink. That was unavoidable though. They won't get the counter off of it though. Alright, we'll just pass it. Thanks Stoneforge Mystic has like outworn its usefulness. Spike Feeder, sure. 0 cards in my opponent's hand right now. Cranial Plating, great draw. I think I'm just gonna attack for 1 here. Gain life. I can Cranial Plating there, and then like I might be like turned off gaining life next turn. Fucking another Heliod. I mean, I can kill you with Inkmoth Nexus, so this is really not over. It's close to over, but it's not. That is like one hell of a top deck, by the way, people. Yeah, I get you gain 1,000,000 life. That's not like I can't beat that. Either I draw Inkmoth Nexus or I lose. He can like gain life and redistribute damage onto these other creatures, so he can actually redistribute lethal onto these other creatures by sacking Spike Feeder and going on all in on these guys and killing me. Alright, looks like he's realized. Cool. I guess we'll just let him use his clock. So, technically a bad block by me because of that, yeah. What was our next card? I don't really think it would have mattered. Kind of awkward. I think I like the idea of Memnite a little bit better on the play. We can minus a Paradise Mantle. Maybe a Cranial Plating. Cranial Plating didn't feel fantastic there. One of those spicy Inkmoth hands would be nice. not got ink moth, but it's pretty good. We'll keep. Alright, planes, and we're very close to winning. Not a planes. I should technically be doing this post-combat. I'm going to get Paradise Mantle here so that I can guarantee Pure Steel Paladin next turn. My opponent can Skyclave Apparition. I don't think it matters, but I think we hold the Paradise Mantle. So we'll probably lose that hammer. Yeah, no surprises there. That's all fine. Sagada's 8 on top. So Pure Steel Paladin. We'll equip that across there. We really suck without the hammer in this hand though. It's very unfortunate. These Swift Boots don't feel very good at all. Oh wait, no, I'm so stupid. I can actually Swift Boots there and equip. That's so dumb from me. Because I can tap the Memnite, then I can tap the Stoneforge Mystic, both for 1 mana, protect the Pure Steel Paladin. Like, very lucky our opponent didn't just kill us there. Sagada's Aid, right on time. Alright, let's get our card draw off the Swift Boots. Opponent's got instant speed collected company by the looks of it. Alright, lots of clicks with these like equip zeros. Spike Feeder plus Heliod. Alright, equip his sorcery speeds. So we're going to lose that. Wait. Okay, right. I follow. Alright, let's pass the turn. So about the lack of commentary, it's just very complicated. I'm not used to the deck. I'm trying to make the most out of my turns. Walking Ballista. So now he can Spike Feeder or counter onto the Walking Ballista. And literally just kills us. Alright, cool. Concede. Feels bad. Opponent naturally had one of Walking Ballista and ripped 2 combo pieces off of the Coco. Damn, after that game 1, I really thought we were going to like make something happen, especially when we're on the play. But once our opponent got rid of our Colossus Hammer, everything became too awkward. So it's possible there that I was actually supposed to hold the Colossus Hammer in hand until I play the Pure Steel Paladin. At which point I get the card draw and the equip. I suppose so. Heliod seems pretty busted. I mean, like, it had a Noble Hierarch and a Skyclave Apparition on the board, end of his turn 2, and by the time it hit his turn 3, he had Heliod, Spike Feeder, and Walking Ballista, and enough mana to give the Walking Ballista lifelink. It's pretty busted, I'm not gonna lie. If we get rid of Conclave Mentor, it'd be a big hit. Honestly, if they get rid of, like, Walking Ballista, that'd be really good too. Opponent won the die roll. We've got, like, a little bit of a slow hand here, but we do have a Pure Steel Paladin, so I kind of like it. We're, like, slightly land heavy. Okay, it's Amulet. Sure. Speaking of busted decks, here comes Amulet Titan. Ready to bust afresh. I mean, I'm also playing Hammer Time, so I can't talk too much. Alright. That's a 40-second Tribe Scout there, people. Perfect draw. Perfect draw. Absolutely amazing. So now we have Metalcraft enabled. By the time we play our Pure Steel Paladin, which is awesome. I guess I could, like, leave Mish's Bobble in hand there. I kind of like attacking for 12 on turn 2, though. Yeah, Mish's Bobble didn't need to go down. Alright, let's see how good our opponent's turn 2 is. They can definitely still, like, go Amulet into, like, a million lands and hit a prime time. Alright, it's one of their less busted hands. That's good. Alright, so we attack here. I think I'm going to hold on the Mish's Bobble until my opponent's end step. And then after I play Inkmoth Nexus, I can have Metalcraft again on my Pure Steel Paladin. As long as Ornithopter doesn't get killed. Sort of awkward that I couldn't, like, Inkmoth Nexus turn 1 into, like, a turn 2 Pure Steel Paladin. I guess if I had Springleaf Drum, that would have been possible. I wouldn't have been able to turn to a Hammer on top of everything, though. Oh, yes, I could. I could have tapped the Pure Steel Paladin. Maybe Springleaf Drum is just better than Paradise Mantle. Like, the downside of not drawing a card, but the upside of turn 1 moth into turn 2 pure still seems really good. Alright, growth chamber. Bouncing radiant fountain, sure. Let's look at the top of the opponent's library. It's kind of looking like he's not got a prime time yet. He's hitting Castle Garenbrig next. I mean, okay. So a whole bunch of equip zeros here. We go to attacks. Attack for 13. Should be lethal. I think I could have done that better. I could have left white mana up then. Don't think it's going to matter for this game though. I can Radiant Fountain gain life, go to 1. Okay. And opponent concedes. Sweet. Alright. So what do we want in this matchup, in the Amulet Titan matchup? Path to Exile's probably Disenchant, answers Dryad of Lycian Grove. Giver of Runes can give protection from colorless or protection from green to play around chump blockers. It's sort of medium. I think overall we probably don't want it though. We're looking at bringing in 4 cards, so I think we can trim on Memnites and maybe a Steel Shaper's Gift. Alright, sweet. Yeah, I'm down for this hand. This hand seems pretty good. Turn 1 plant guy, sure thing. Turn 1 a Sagada Aid. We do have to be like a little bit careful of Force of Vigor from our opponent. If we can play around it. Boreal Grazer, sure. This is like a slow and fair hand from our opponent. I don't mind that at all. Alright, let's Pure Steel this turn. We can then Paradise Mantle. Always yes, always yield. Always yes, always yield. like 1 artifact off of Metalcraft, so we should hit that next turn. We naturally drew the Shadow Spear, which is really nice. Alright, let's go to end step. I think we can crack Misha's bubble and it's fine. Because we have Sagada's aid, so it should be fine. Explore on top of my opponent's library, sure. Oh! I mean, opponent, why do you gotta do yourself like this? Let's just give our guy hexproof. It's a pretty good outplay. Do we still get the beast for some reason? Sure, so we attack for 3. We could like move stuff back across onto the Memnite, but really having hexproof and whatever else on the Pure Steel Paladin is just good. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, those Swift Boots felt really, really good there. I guess if we really want like dedicated sideboard hate for a Heliod combo, we could actually sideboard in the Deicides. So very strong. We play that as in the Bogle deck, but not playing it here. White 2-mana instant. Opponent going for that prime time off the Summoner's Pact. Alright, so what lands can he get that's gonna like cause an issue for us? He can get Radiant Fountain to gain life and probably just like Talaria West to repeat another Summoner's Pact or like an Engineered Explosives. Engineered Explosives on 2 is very good against us, so I guess if I was him I'd go for the Engineered Explosives route. Yeah, it looks like that's what he's going for. So if he's got another bounce land in hand, he can leave Talaria West on the battlefield. He probably bounces Crumbling Visage here. Yeah. That's the one. Oh, Pog draw. Holy moly. Let's get that hammer. Guess. No! We played it on the wrong guy. Shit. We do have like an active for the where we can just equip everything across, so it's not the end of the world. We are missing 1 point of damage by doing it this way, though. In fact, we could actually move our Swift Boots across. Gives us protection from Force of Vigor. A little bit of protection. Right, did I... okay, I just went past my damage step. I'm a complete nupty. Let's go to my opponent's turn, set a stop on his upkeep, and path the Primeval Titan so he doesn't get any extra lands. I guess we could wait until the beginning of combat for that, actually. Yeah, we can wait until the beginning of combat for that. Did our opponent just use their blue mana to pay for the pact then? Looks like both sides are misplaying pretty bad here. So technically we're going to want to go for this hammer in our opponent's end step as well. So we can perhaps utilize the mana and get like a Colossus Hammer back from the graveyard with Lurrus. Interesting interaction with Sagada's Aid is it lets you activate Lurrus at instant speed, which is pretty nifty. We're a little bit of like mana away from doing Lurrus, but we do have a Paradise Mantle to help get us there. Opponent with the Dismember here. We go ahead and play our Colossus Hammer. Get a random land. Opponent moves to beginning of combat and will path the Primeval Titan, and that should be GG. Short of Force of Vigor plus green hard card being in hand, and even then we're still in a very powerful spot. Opponent's like considering blocking with Prime Time. That's sort of very sad for them, I think. Alright, we're just waiting for him to yield priority so we can path. I think if like this was on paper, I would just reveal the path and get it going. Alright, cool. So 3-1. And on the match we lost, I think we could have played tighter against Heliod. That's interesting. That is very interesting. And... oh, we found the match. Okay, we click on that. Uh-oh. This storm? Find the Stoneforge Mystic off top. Honestly, I think that's pretty reasonable. We're still like a fair while away from having our Metalcraft do stuff though. Let's pure steel Paladin and try to combo some artifacts off of the equipment drawer. Fucking randomly got Wild Slash. Alright, this is blue-red prowess, not Storm. This is absolutely not Storm. Let's get Shadow Spear. Another Wild Slash. Alright, calm down, opponent. My computer just freeze on me? Hello, computer. I can't even move my mouse here. Can I alt tab or anything? It's not coming back. Cool.